everybody, my name's Lenny from Amazelab. We hope that everybody really enjoys these follow along videos. Don't forget you can pause them, fast forward them, rewind them, watch them as many times as you like. Whether you're completing this with your classmates or at home with your family. The idea of these videos are to be thought-provoking, thinking about how the weather links to climate change. So in these videos today, we're going to show you how to make your very own tornado, your very own rain, and your very own snow. But we want these activities to be a discussion point, linking to climate change. We would like you all to do your very own research, looking at wild weather and extremes of weather and how they link to climate change. So I will demonstrate how to do each of these activities, and if you do some absolutely amazing research, do make sure that you share it with the conference for everybody else to see. There are also a series of follow-along fact sheets. They explain the full science behind all of the experiments that we're doing today, but do remember the importance of linking each of these activities to the climate change conference and thinking about the weather and how it links to climate change. So let's get started on our first activity for today. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to make our very own tornado in a jar. In order to make your very own tornado in a jar, I would like you to find a jar that you would like to reuse and recycle. It can actually be any size. Just make sure that before you do anything you have asked adult permission and that it's nice and clean. We've aimed to do these activities with really simple things that you can find around school or around home as well. So into your jar you need to take some water, and you're going to fill your water all the way up just to the neck of the jar, like so. So just up to there. Into there you're then going to take some washing up liquid, and we're just going to put a squirt of washing up liquid into our jar. I'm then going to start to create a bit of a vortex. So I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to give it a stir, and I'm going to create the vortex effect, just like so. From there, I'm then going to fasten the lid onto my jar. Again, please do make sure that you've checked with an adult that that lid is on securely. Now it's your turn to make your very own tornado, and this is why it's really important that that lid is fastened on securely, because we're going to turn it upside down. Even if you can't see my tornado that well on film, when you're all doing it at home or in your classroom, you will see the effect really, really well. So you're going to take your jar and you're going to swirl it round like so. And wow, look what has formed inside my jar. It's my very own tornado. But as I was saying at the start of this video, do remember that all of these weather-based activities are linking to climate change and looking at extremes of weather and how weather links to climate change. So do make sure that you're doing your very own research as you are completing these activities. So wow, that is your very first one. How simple was that as well, to make something really effective that you can talk about with your family and friends. So that was tornado in a jar. And again, don't forget, you can rewind, you can pause the video so that everybody can follow along. So the next activity that we are going to do is looking at making your very own rain. Again, I would like you all to investigate what is the effects linking our weather, acid rain and climate change. So again, you're going to need a jar that you would like to reuse or recycle. For this one, you can just put the lid over to one side. Again, into this jar, you are just going to add some water. And we're going to put that water, again, just up to the neck of the jar, like so. You're then going to use some shaving foam. Now it actually needs to be shaving foam and not gel. So make sure that you give your shaving foam a really good shake. Now make sure you're doing this in an area that you can get messy, or make sure you've got protective covering down. So it doesn't always come out in the right direction the first time. So take your lid off, and you're then going to squirt your shaving foam into your jar, like this. So you should now be left with a shaving foam cloud. Hopefully everybody can see that. You're then going to need some blue dye or food colouring. This will work with any colour. It's just obviously the blue colour looks a little bit more like rain. I'm then going to use my pipette, but if you don't have a pipette, you can just use a spoon. So if you are using a spoon, you'll take your spoon, a teaspoon will do, pop it into your food colouring or dye and start to add it into your cloud. But I will show you with my pipette. And you need to make sure that you're watching this area really carefully. And when you do one, it will be right in front of your very eyes. So I'm going to take my pipette and I'm going to add it into my food colouring. And I'm going to take my pipette and really slowly add it into my cloud. I'd like you to watch this jar here really, really carefully to see what is going to happen. So I'm going to put my food colour in. Wow! What's happening there? Can everybody see what's happening? It's starting to rain out of my cloud. Look at that. My cloud is actually raining inside of my jar. So hopefully everybody will really, really enjoy making their very own rain cloud in a jar. It would also work in a plastic bottle that you would like to reuse and recycle. And again, please do remember, these are just short little fun activities, but they have a very serious meaning, linking, looking, researching about the weather and climate change. And like I say, if you'd like any more details, they're all available on the fact sheets that accompany these videos. So let's have a look and shall we make our final piece of weather? Yes, I hear you say, absolutely amazing. So I'll put my tornado in. I've got my rain cloud. I will leave those there. And now we're going to make our very own snow. As you make snow as well, I'd really like you to investigate the animals that live in habitats that tend to have a lot of snow and what effect is climate change also having on them. And don't forget, if you're doing this in the classroom, you can pause the video as you go along to make sure that everybody is completing each of the tasks along at the same time. You can watch it, rewatch it as many times as you like. So what do we need to now make our very own snow? And this snow is really special because it's actually cold like snow and you can mould it. So you're going to need a bowl, you're going to need a spoon, some sodium bicarbonate, and we're going to reuse our shaving foam. And again, it needs to be foam, not gel. So you need to put in about half of your sodium bicarbonate to about half of your shaving foam. I'm going to add in about 4 teaspoons of sodium bicarbonate. I'm then going to take my shaving foam and give it a really good shake again and add about half again into my bowl. So it should look something like that. I'm then going to take my spoon and as if I was baking a cake, I'm going to fold in the baking powder to my shaving foam and then I'm going to give it a really good stir, like so. So I'm going to fold that in and give it a really good stir. Again, do make sure that you've got adult permission for each of these activities. You're wearing clothes that you don't mind getting messy, and you're doing it on a surface, again you can get messy, or it's got a protective covering down. So once you've stirred in the first lot, you then need to monitor whether you think you need a little bit more sodium bicarbonate or shaving foam. If it's still quite wet like that and it still looks a bit creamy, You then need to add in a bit more sodium bicarbonate, but only do it a couple of teaspoons full at a time, and continue to stir it in like so. And you will notice your snow start to form, that your mixture actually starts to get a little bit stiffer. It starts to look like you will be able to mould it. Don't be tempted to put your hands in just yet, because you will still be covered in the snow. So I'm just going to pop in a little bit more like so. I'm going to stir it round. So just keep checking it and see if you think your snow is ready to mould. So it's not too, I think it looks quite creamy. You're going to keep testing it, altering the quantities until it starts to look mouldable. So it should start to look something like that. Now this is the really fun part, when you can start to get your hands into the mixture. And you will notice it feels cold. Look at that, just like real snow. So look, I've now made my very own snowball. And you could all have lots and lots of fun at home or in class to see what little snow creations you can make. We hope that everybody has had an absolutely fantastic time raising awareness of climate change and completing all of these activities. Like I say, we've tried to provide simple, creative activities, but they are there to really get you thinking and to get you researching what are those links between climate change and the weather. So as you make your snow out in the real world, what is happening to the polar ice caps? What about the animals that live there? How is climate change having an effect on our extreme weathers? As you make your rain cloud in a jar, again, be investigating. As you make your tornado. If you would like to share them with the conference, we would absolutely love to see what you have made. We hope that everybody really benefits from this conference and gets so much out of it, and that it provides the change that we all require. Thank you so much for watching and listening, everybody, and don't forget to check out those fact sheets. Thank you, bye.